welcome to your Monday morning stretch. We've got a whole body stretch for you today. We're going to start in standing, lots of nice gentle movements to loosen off, and then we get down onto the mat for a few deeper stretches. So if you've joined me for any of our stretch routines before, you will know that there are some rules that I like to go through before we start, and that's just to make sure that you're safe and comfortable. So if you experience any pain or discomfort during any of the movements, then I want you to make sure you either stop or modify to something that suits you better. If you feel unwell, make sure you stop. And if you're exercising alone, it's a good idea to have a method of communication nearby. Just have your phone handy in case you need to reach out for any help. We are going to be getting down onto the floor, like I said. So if you want to have a piece of furniture nearby just to help you up and down, then make sure that that is nearby. And apart from that, you don't need any special equipment, just your mat or a comfortable space on the floor and some space to move your arms in all directions. So we're going to begin just in a standing position for me, feet about hip width apart. Think about standing up as tall as you possibly can. And we're just going to drop the ear over to the shoulder on one side. So I want you to feel a nice and long stretch along the outside of the neck there. And then we'll come back up in the middle and over the other way. Good, back up in the middle, one more each way. Fantastic, back up in the middle, and then we're going to introduce a little bit more movement just with some rotation. So one arm goes in front of you, one arm goes behind, and we swing gently. Let momentum take the movement. Good, the arms are floppy, the weight of the arms is pulling the shoulders down away from the ears. We will go one more to each side. Fantastic, and then back into center. Open the chest and some more neck stretches. This time I want you to look down to the floor, nod your chin to your chest as far as you can. Now we're going to roll the ear over to the shoulder one way and then back down through the middle. Roll the shoulder to the ear the other way. Back through the middle, and we'll keep going through that little halfway roll from side to side. One more each way. Fantastic, and then up into center. Roll your shoulders up, around and back. Good, we're going to do that 3 more times, up, round and back. Up, round and back. And once more. Fantastic. Now with that nice tall posture, we're going to lean to one side. Slide the hand down the outside of the leg and back up in the middle and over to the other side, just as far as you're comfortable to manage. Good. Now we're going to go over to the other way again. Now this time, can you slide your hips away a little bit, making a bigger bend in your body? Lovely, up we come. Let's do the same to the other side. Sliding over, take the hips with you. Good, and back up into center. Let's take the feet just a little bit wider than you've got them already, so just a wee bit wider than your shoulders. And we're going to take a very gentle roll down. So it's chin to chest, arms are floppy, and a little bit of bend in the knees, and just go as far as you're comfortable to manage before you then come back up. Now you might be able to get yourself all the way down to the floor. If you can, that's great. If you can't, don't worry, just go with whatever range you've got available. So we're going to do that again. Going forwards, arms are floppy, reaching as far as you feel comfortable to do so before you come all the way back up. So we're trying to lengthen up the backs of the legs and to just open out your spine a little bit. Let's do one more. Going forwards, little bit floppy, plant those feet in towards the floor and then all the way back up again. Chest open, shoulders back. Good, now bring the feet a little bit narrower, so back to that kind of hip width apart. And I want you to bend your knees. I'm actually going to come sideways a second just so you can see what I want you to do. You're going to bend your knees and you're hinging forward at the hips. So we're keeping quite a straight back. And then in that position, you're just going to start off letting the arms dangle. And then we're going to bring one arm back and the other hand up to your shoulder and the other way. But we're going to do that with a little bit of momentum. So more of a swing. We go round and round. So we're kind of twisting from the hips, twisting the torso, and just letting those arms swing round and back. And what you can do if you want to is put a slightly bigger bend in the elbow. I'm sure this looks a bit funny, but it's a really nice stretch. Let's go for 3 more, 2 more, last one, and then roll up nice and tall. Good. So we should be loosened off through the spine a little bit. We've had some twists and we've loosened off your neck and shoulders, but we've done that all much in a very kind of forward position. So we're going to work on a little bit of a back bend now. I'll come to turn side on so you can see what I want you to do. You're going to place your hands just at the small of your back, just above your bottom. And then I would like you to push the hips forward, keep the neck long, and you lean back and then come back up. Good. So if that felt okay, we can extend the movement a little bit by trying to squeeze the elbows together. So from there, you're going to push the hips forward, lean back and see if you can squeeze your elbows towards each other behind you. And up you come. Let's do that one last time. Nice big deep breath in at the top of the movement. Push the hips forward, keep the neck long, squeeze those elbows together, and up you come. Well done. Let the arms relax. We're going to make our way down on towards the floor now. So into a long sit position. So that will be legs right out in front of you and toes pulled up towards you. Now, if you feel quite tight in the backs of your legs, you can just put a little bit of a bend in the knees, or you might want to use a block or a cushion just underneath your sitting bones, which will elevate you a little bit. But either way, just find a comfortable position that you can manage. So this is going to help stretch the backs of our legs and a little bit in and around our lower back. So a hand either side of your thighs, and then you're going to walk the hands forwards gently in the direction of your feet. And we're going to hold there. Now try and focus on your breathing a little bit and see if you can relax into that movement. We're not bouncing, we're not pushing any further than you are currently. Just see if you can release into it. Let's come back up. Okay, so it's a gentle hold and control. Let's go again. Walk the hands forwards. And we're all going to be able to go at very different ranges here. Just pay attention to where your hands are relative to your feet and ankles. Relax into the position. Allow the muscles to soften and elongate. And then we come back up. Let's do that one more time. So a little bit of a lift first before you then creep your hands forwards. Are they going a little bit further than they did before? Maybe. Hold in that position. Allow the muscles to soften and elongate. Good, and then we're going to uncurl back out of that position, and then we're going to let our knees bend and place the hands out behind us. We're going to do some windshield wipers here. So this is nice for the hips and the lower back. You let both knees swing over one way, and then we come back through the middle, and both knees going over the other way. And just keep swinging from side to side there. And you might find, I just find that I sort of wriggle forwards in this one, so if you need to just reposition yourself, then please do. Just find a comfortable range of motion. Okay, when the knees come over this way, in this position here, we're going to just release the hand up a little bit, and then we make our way from here into a sideline position. So now this top leg If you can bring the knee up and in towards you, squeeze it in and just see if you can maybe feel a little bit of stretch around the hip or the lower back with that one. And then you either grab your shin, ankle, or front of your foot, keeping the heel as tight into your bottom as you can. You're then going to take that leg back, open along the front of the hip. So push your hips forward, squeeze the heel in towards the bottom, and lift the chest. So you'll feel that all the way up the front of the thigh. Play around with the angle of the thigh a little bit as well. So if you drop the knee down towards the floor, or maybe angle it up towards the knee, is there a bit that feels like a deeper or a better stretch for you? And if there is, we can hang around there for a little bit. Just squeeze that heel into the bum. Allow the muscle to lengthen and elongate. Great stuff. Release. And then we're going to come up into that nice tall sit position again. Let's do some more windshield wipers. Over and over. Good. Over and over. So remember which side you did your quad stretch on, because we're going to land on the opposite side now. So I'm over here, and then I can wiggle myself forwards to come into a sideline position. Prop up through the elbow, lift the chest. Top knee, I'm going to grab a hold of my knee. I want you to do the same, squeeze into your chest. Curve the lower back a little bit. Now we move our grip towards the shin, the ankle, or onto the top of the foot, and squeeze the heel in towards the bottom before taking that knee as far back as you can. Push the top hip forward, push the hips forward, keep squeezing the heel in towards the bottom, and then let's play around with the angle of that thigh, up a bit, down a bit. Where does it feel like you get the better stretch? And if you want to hold in that position, keeping the hip forward, allow the muscle to soften, lengthen, and elongate. Good, we'll hold just a tiny bit longer. And then you can release that leg. We're going to make our way onto our tummies now. Resting up on your elbows, toes tucked underneath, and push those knees out straight. So you might find that your knees just lift off the floor a little bit. Good. Elbows and wrists are pressed in towards the mat. Lift up through the crown of your head. Now we're going to soften the position of the legs a little bit and allow your spine to sink into that back bend. If you're happy here and it feels like a big enough stretch, then just stay there and enjoy that feeling of stretch. If you want to increase the stretch, you straighten up your elbows a little bit, pushing the floor away from you, still trying to stay lifted up through the crown of the head, and push the hips down into the mat. Great, so we've gone from that arched position. We're now going to tuck our knees underneath, going into your child's pose, so it's kind of like the opposite stretch. Push the floor away from you, tuck your chin in towards your chest, and curve and round the lower back. Beautiful, and then we're going to round out of that a little bit more. Come into an all fours position, hands and knees now, for our cat-cow stretches. So a nice, wide, firm position with the knees and the feet. Just splay the fingers slightly, so we've got a strong base of support in towards the floor. We go into our cat stretch, which is where we round the back, lift the ribs up to the ceiling, tuck the bottom underneath, and then the breastbone drops towards the floor. You raise your eye line and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Do that again, curve and round. Breathe in as you lift up, pull the shoulder blades apart. And opposite direction, breathe out, squeeze the shoulder blades, raise the eye line. Keep working between those two ranges. I'm going to do 3 more. Next one will be our last one. Wonderful. Now, if you can, I want you to tuck your toes underneath, sit back onto your heels. Don't worry if you can't do this, you can put a block or a cushion to bridge that little gap, or you can just miss this bit out briefly. We're then going to take our hands behind our back and push the hands down towards the floor. Open the front of the chest, stretching the toes as they're tucked underneath. And then we're all going to come and meet in a high kneel position. So one leg up in front, bottom pushed forward and tucked underneath. And then I would like you to bring both arms up and open them out into a V, taking the arms behind the midline of the body if you can. And then release as the arms come through. You're then going to place your hands onto your bottom. You're going to squeeze the elbows together and push forwards a little bit. Good, release. We do that again. The arms come down, they go up and into a V, and you extend and open. You then bring the arms down, hands onto the top of the bottom, and lean back. And release. Let's do one more round of those. Arms up into a V. See if you can get them behind the midline of your body. Down. Hands onto the bum. Push forward and squeeze. Lovely. And then we're going to release the leg from that position. Other leg out in front. Same thing. So plant that foot firmly. Nice wide base of support. Tuck the toes underneath. And press both feet in towards the floor. That's going to help you fix your position. We're going to bring the arms up into a V and take the arms behind the midline of your body. Then we bring them down, swing through, hands coming up onto the bottom, arch the back, push forward. Good. Into that big V shape again, up and back. Release, hands to the bottom, squeeze the elbows, push. Release. One more of each one. Open. Back. Squeeze. And release. Well done. Making your way up into a standing position now. So up you come. Any which way you can safely do that before you come and settle into a nice strong standing position for me. I'd like you to link your fingers together. Press the palms forward towards the screen and try and straighten out your elbows. You're pushing away from your shoulders down. Fantastic. Drop the chin to the chest. Push the hands further towards me. Pulling the shoulder blades apart, opening the front of the chest. And release the hands coming all the way round behind your back. Link the fingers, so you're kind of clasping the hands and then pushing the knuckles down towards the floor. If you can, just take the hands away from the back a little bit, raise the eyeline. Good. And then we release, just letting the arms hang floppy and heavy. I'm going to take you through a posture check now. So equal weight between the base of the big toes, the little toes, and the heels on either side. So your feet are like 3 points of a triangle. We're going to melt the feet in towards the floor with a little bit of softness through the legs. Lifting the rib cage up off the pelvis, creating a long spine for your lower back. The weight of your arms pulls the shoulders away from your ears, and you're lifting up through the crown of the head. 3 wide full breaths for me. Make as much space, or take up as much space in the ribs when you inhale as you can. Good, and then you exhale, soften. Press the feet to the floor, lift up through the crown of the head. Again, big breath in, take as much space in your ribs as you can. Breathe out, feet into the ground, lift up through the crown of the head. Last one. Fantastic, well done. That is our Monday morning stretch and mobility routine complete. Thank you for joining me, whether this is live or on catch up. I'll be back next Monday at 10 a.m. for another live session, and I hope to see you there. If you've got any comments or suggestions, anything that you'd like me to include in our routines, please drop me a line and make sure that you like and subscribe, and then you'll get notified every time that I go live. All right then, thanks again. See you soon. Bye-bye.